Well, good afternoon, everybody. I want to take the opportunity to thank the Urban Homeworks team for the opportunity to come here and join you today. And on behalf of University Bank and the Sunrise Community Banks, which includes Franklin Bank and Park Midway Bank, we're pleased to be able to again sponsor this wonderful event. I come here today not in my role as a community banker, but as a member of this community we all share, and to witness really the power of the collaborative spirit of our community. And there's no question in my mind that my experience with Urban Homeworks has certainly influenced and affected some of the decisions and paths I've taken in my life. Now, knowing Urban Homeworks, they would rather not be acknowledged. They don't want to be a distraction from the important mission that they carry out. But the story cannot really be told without them. While I've served them in my role as a community banker to help with their initiatives, what's really been important to me was to see how our friendships have grown over the last 8 years. To have an opportunity to sit down over fried catfish at Hook's restaurant down the street from their office and share some personal perspectives with Chad, to see the incredible growth of their talented and dedicated staff that make up Urban Homeworks, and to really witness their incredible and selfless commitment to community. There's really no more noble pursuit, I think, than to inspire and to perpetuate strong families, affordable, dignified housing, which is such a vital core to a healthy community. And when I think about Urban Homeworks and the work they do, the word inspiration comes to mind. I looked into the origins of the word, and it was fascinating to me, especially what resonated with me the most was the Latin version, inspirare, which literally means to breathe life into and to have courage. And I think that's very relevant to what we're all here about today. When you think about inspiration and how does that translate into action, action comes from many places. I think oftentimes we equate action to coming from motivation. But I think there's some very important differences between motivation and inspiration. We're motivated obviously by many things in life, by fear, by responsibility, by the desire for recognition, by the desire for material things. And our actions that are motivated by that, they bring results, but oftentimes you could say that perhaps those are more self-focused results, perhaps selfish to some degree. But by contrast, I would say inspiration is, the essence of it is a very unselfish act. There's a different feeling that comes when you do something that inspires you. If you think back and reflect in your own life's experiences, that moment, it may have been very insignificant. It may have been something you did that was out of your comfort zone. But you took that opportunity to reach out, perhaps to a stranger. And the results of that, nobody was there to see you do a good deed. Nobody was there to take your picture, write a story about what a good person you are. You weren't patting yourself on the back, but you left. You took that moment to say, today I reach out to the community, to my fellow person. And you come away with a feeling that I think is very unique to our core as individuals with each other. And I think it's innate in the human condition to want to do good and to want to have hope. And there are many opportunities to be inspired to action. Sometimes the trouble is, though, we don't know really where to start. There's so much need, so many opportunities that inertia can happen because we're not sure how to get going. But it is true that we can't do everything, but we don't have to do everything. We're not in this alone. Every single act with our fellow man, our fellow person, contributes to the overall connectivity to our humanity. For my wife and I, our outreach, our decision to say, I choose this path. We tried to keep it simple and say, we can't do everything, but what can we do? And we made a decision to pick our spot. And that was to reach out to a community in the Manila, Philippines, which is a very important part of our history together. It's a community that's challenged by poverty, and it's challenged by roadblocks to hope. And it's important to us. My history as a Peace Corps volunteer in the Philippines, I knew this community. And my wife, Delia, was a child of this exact same community, whose family rose above the challenges that were faced by the support of each other and by education. So a few years ago, we decided to do a food distribution which affects about 150 families, barely scratching the surface, but it is a start in this community, which is a shanty area, thousands of people packed in, very dangerous living conditions. In fact, unfortunately, there was a fire recently which displaced about 450 families. But that was our effort to reach out and do what we could and to provide some hope and inspiration to that community. And in telling that story to our colleagues and our friends who were interested in what we were up to, what amazed us and what humbled us was that they wanted to help. And we did not ask for help, but they felt connected somehow to the mission. And I think what was important to them is they knew who the people were that were involved in it. They could see what was being done. They knew that their time and their treasure could be used effectively, and they could see the results. And that was very important to them. And so, but our commitment that we made to that project, to me, related very closely to what the Urban Homeworks experience is. The Twin Cities community, many of you included here, have risen up to help with the mission of Urban Homeworks because it's a community that matters to you. You know the people that make up Urban Homeworks. You know the communities they serve. You know that you trust them. Your time and your treasure is going to be put to productive use, and they've shown time and time again that there are results that you can actually see. And I think this is a connection that people find very, very important when they make decisions about being connected to the humanity that's around them. To me, inspiration really defines Urban Homeworks in all its aspects, from the incredibly talented and skilled staff to the young college graduates who commit a year of their lives to live as urban neighbors, to have an experience that will enrich them beyond their expectations. And most importantly, to the individuals that are served by Urban Homeworks. These individuals have hope and passion for their families and for their communities, and to me is the utmost example of heroism. And that example, in turn, provides tremendous inspiration back to Urban Homeworks. This cycle of connectivity to our humanity is sustained in that way. So as you reflect today on your own opportunities to take action, have courage. Find your place in this circle of connectivity. Breathe life into that which matters to you. Be inspired.